In this video, we're going to talk about how to set up trig ratios with right triangles using sine, cosine, and tangent. So those are the three basic trig functions you need to know. And we're going to need two sides of our right triangle and one of the angles that is not the right angle. So for our trig ratios, we have our three trig functions here, sine, cosine, and tangent, and we use the first three letters in the name as abbreviations. Theta here, the Greek letter theta, is what we use to name the angle that we're dealing with when we don't know the actual value of the degree. And similar to how we use x typically for an unknown side length or anything else in math. So sine of theta, that's going to depend on what these side lengths are. So if theta is this angle here, the leg that is opposite of theta is obviously called opposite leg. The one that's next to it or adjacent is called the adjacent leg. And the side that is across from the right angle is always called our hypotenuse. So for sine of theta, that's going to be represented by opposite over hypotenuse. So it's going to be this side length divided by this side length. For cosine, it's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. So this side length divided by this side length. Tangent, it's opposite over adjacent. So we use this acronym SOHCAHTOA to help us remember that. So this represents sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So looking at an example here, let's say we've got side lengths 3, 4, and 5 for our triangle. We still have our angle theta here. So the opposite leg is 3, adjacent is 4, hypotenuse is 5. So if we're asking to find sine of theta, and we're just going to set up the ratios here, opposite is 3, hypotenuse is 5, so sine of theta is equal to 3 over 5. For cosine of theta, it's adjacent, which should be 4, divided by hypotenuse, which is 5. So cosine of theta is 4 over 5. And tangent of theta is going to be opposite 3 over adjacent 5. Now if we move this angle theta over here, now 4 becomes opposite, 3 becomes adjacent, and we just rotate those numbers accordingly.